Hey guys, the time is now 10:34 PM. Welcome back to another vlog on TaneshhVlogs. See the night sky? The reason I just started vlogging at this time of the night is because the whole day today I have not been feeling well. I felt terrible. I could not do any of my work. I couldn't pick up the vlog camera and vlog, and I just spent the entire day just sleeping. And I just woke up in the evening, edited yesterday's vlog and I uploaded that late. I just managed to start vlogging today. Oh, I also went to go pick up the camera from the girl who I always borrow camera from. I don't know, I thought I have to update you guys about that. Like every time I take the camera from her, I have to let you know. But anyway, my apologies. So since I'm just beginning to vlog today, I won't be... Debo, what are you doing? It's already 10 something. I won't be going out anywhere. So this vlog is going to be short. And stop biting my leg. I've decided to do a short little... Stop biting. I've decided to do like a short little story time today in this vlog. Stop biting me. This dog is an idiot. Now before we go into the story, if there's any of you out there who's like, you know what, a vlog should always be about what you do your entire day. It should be from morning to afternoon to evening to night. If it's not that, it's not vlog. Do you even know what a vlog is? If you're one of those motherfuckers, then I suggest you get out of this vlog right now. You can come back tomorrow, because this vlog is not going to be about my entire day. This vlog is a story time, and I go by my definition of what a vlog is, alright? Not yours. Okay, now let's continue. Now the story that I want to tell you guys is something that has never occurred to me. Is like story material. Like I heard of this story from my dad since I was a young kid, but only recently when I reheard it, did it occur to me that holy shit, this can be a movie of its own. What the hell? And recently I was telling this story to a friend of mine and I realized, you know what, why not I actually tell you guys the story in the vlog? That'll be actually quite a good story to tell in the vlog. And before I tell the story, I asked my dad permission if I can tell this story, because this involves all my ancestors and everything. So I was getting ready to like sit here and record, and I was about to like press record on my camera, and I like sort of pushed it and it fell all the way down while this lens was like out and open, and now the lens is slightly damaged, and when I shut it down, this lens doesn't close properly. Can you guys see the dent here? Which is fine, but the problem is this. See, when I shut it down, only half of it closes, the other half doesn't close. See how it tilted to the side? I didn't do that. I didn't move my camera like that. It did it by itself. I really want to get it fixed, but I'm so afraid of how much it'll cost. It's okay, back to our story. So this is a story of my ancestors. This is a story of my ancestors and their terrible past. Obviously, I have to start with this man over here. This man's name is Sinappan. Sinappan is my great-grandfather. So basically, he's my father's father. I was born here, my parents were born here, my grandparents were also born here, and I know what you're wondering. How come your grandmother looks okay like a grandmother, but how come your grandfather looks like a young boy? I will get to that later, okay? It's part of the story. But yeah, I was born here, my parents were born here, my grandparents were born here, but my great-grandfather or my great-grandparents were born in India. This is India. Let's say this is Malaysia, okay? I know it looks like a penis, but no, this is Malaysia. Now somewhere in the 1940s, when the British fellas brought Indians from India to Malaysia, my grandfather also came from India to Malaysia. They traveled by boat. This is a boat, okay? Back in India, before he came over to Malaysia, my great-grandfather had someone that he was supposed to marry, right? Then my great-grandmother married my great-grandfather, and once they got married, they had 13 kids. 13 kids. Actually, I'm not so sure. Let me go ask my dad. Pa, Sinappa தாத்தாக்கு எத்தனை பிள்ளைங்க இருந்துச்சு? 13 தானே? Okay. Back then, they had a lot of free time, so my grandfather had 13 kids. Now, out of those 13 kids, one of it was this man over here, Mr. Mariappan. This is my grandfather, my father's father. You saw my father a few seconds ago, right? His father is this man. Why does he look so young here? I'll get back to that later. It's part of the story. Now, before I proceed with the story, let me draw you a quick family tree so that you sort of understand the whole scenario, okay? So, my great-grandfather and my great-grandmother were from India. They married and they had 13 kids. Out of the 13 kids, one kid was my grandfather who married my grandmother, and they had 9 kids. And out of these 9 kids, number 6 was my father, who married my mother, and they have 4 kids. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is me. Okay, this is my family tree. See, here's the thing. See these 13 kids that my great-grandfather had? 12 of these kids died, including my great-grandmother. They all died in the span of 2 weeks. Let me tell you how. While the British ruled Malaysia, World War II was happening, and then Japan started ruling Malaysia, a lot of chaos going on. So this was the time that my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother and their 13 kids were there. They were out here in Malaysia during that time, pre-independence. During this time, there was a lot of bombs and etc being dropped here and there, right? Hold on. See how I just drank water from this bottle? Now back then, there was no such luxury. If you want water, you gotta go take from the lake or the river that is nearby your house, right? One fine day, someone from the house went to grab water from the lake and came home, and the entire family drank water from there, and everybody got extremely sick. Why? Because some bomb was dropped somewhere near that lake or that river, and the water was contaminated with the gunpowder, the bomb, whatever, the chemicals and toxics and all that nonsense. So they took the water, went back home, entire family drank it, and the entire family got extremely sick. Great-grandfather, great-grandmother and their 13 kids, and soon they started dying. I know it was a bit weird that I said they started dying instead of saying they died, right? Because this is what happened. Over the period of like 2 weeks or so, members of the family, like 15 of them, right? They started dying one by one, like one after another. So it was like today kid number 1 dies. Everybody's all sad, but they can't do anything. They are also sick. Tomorrow kid number 2 dies. Suddenly kid number 9 also dies on the same day. 2 days later kid number 4 dies. Suddenly kid number 3, kid number 6, kid number 11. Then the mom dies. Yes, the mom died as well, my great grandmother. And then kid number 10 dies. And then kid number 5. Then number 8. Or then number 12. And then number 7 dies. This is 100% truth. In the span of about 2 weeks or so, out of 15 members of the family, 13 of them died with that disease. The only people who were left was my great-grandfather, this man, and 1 out of these 13 kids, who happened to be this man, my grandfather. So father and son, the mother and every other sibling died from that disease. Can you imagine? That's almost your entire family being wiped away in the span of 2 weeks. One fine day, a couple of years later, my grandfather married this lady, my grandmother. So these are the parents of my dad. So they got married and they had about 6 kids, the 6th being my father. And you would think, alright, the family went through tragedy, everything should be good now. But no, you're wrong. It's not over. Because remember how I said, isn't it weird that my grandfather looks so young in this picture? Because you know what happened? This man right here died when my dad was 8 months old. He was an 8-month-old baby when his father died. And the most crazy part is, he didn't just die. Okay, I got a question for you. You know our grandfather, Mr. Mariappan?
Yeah.
Okay, he died, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how did he die?
He got murdered.
What?
Yeah.
He got what?
He got murdered.
Yeah. My grandfather, this guy, was murdered when he was like 20 or 30 something years old. And that is why he looks this young in this picture. Because he died young. Because he got murdered. Now, in case you were not keeping track, let's go back to my great-grandfather's list of family members who are still alive, okay? Great-grandfather, great-grandmother, 13 kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 died. The remaining was my great-grandfather and my grandfather. Couple of years later, bam, my grandfather also died because he got murdered. Now, the only person remaining in this entire family is this person, my great-grandfather. This man over here. You go to a different country because you're poor and you need to go to a different country to work and earn money. You get married, you have 13 kids. One day, you and your entire family get sick. All of your family are gone, including your wife and your kids, except for one son. This one son is the only person you have who's gonna carry on with your generation. He's the only family member that you have. And then a couple of years later, he gets murdered. Imagine being him. Imagine going through what this person has gone through. This man's a legend. How my grandfather got murdered is like the most Indian thing you will ever hear. One day he was at his house. He heard that his friends were fighting somewhere. He wanted to go and see. And his wife, my grandmother, was like, don't be an idiot. Don't. Shut up and stay at home. My grandfather was like, you chill. I got this. He went there to watch the fight, to look at the fight. He got murdered instead. Someone had a spear and they threw the spear at him. He got stabbed and he died. Safe to say, my grandmother was pretty pissed at that entire situation. I'm pretty sure she went to his body and was like, "Dey, I told you so. I told you to stay at home and you had to go. So that is when she got remarried to this man over here. This is her second husband. They had 3 kids together. So, and funny story, this dude was an abusive stepfather and sort of an abusive husband. So eventually my grandmother got sick and tired of his shenanigans. She left him and they all moved to like KL. And then from there my dad got arranged to my mom and they got married. And from that marriage I was born. And the legend of our story, my great grandfather passed away in 1994. 1 year before my parents got married, and even though his entire family died while they were young, this man right here pulled through and stayed alive till the age of 103. When he passed away, he was 103 years old. That is the story of my ancestors and their terrible past. And this is why I really am thankful for them, and I'm very appreciative for what I got. So that is today's vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. If you didn't enjoy it, if you're like, Tanesh, why the fuck do I care about your family? Then I'm sorry. This is my vlog. I get to tell my story. I can't tell your story. So if you have an interesting story, then I would suggest you tell it. If there's just one thing I'd like to end this vlog with, is that appreciate your family, appreciate your ancestors, because without them you will be nowhere where you are today. Alright? Thank you for watching this vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys tomorrow on a normal vlog, on a what happened throughout my day sort of vlog tomorrow. Alright? Ciao. Okay, for those of you who don't know Tamil, let us translate for you. Kalyano Yeppo means when is your wedding?